welcome to Gameolio episode 40. Yep, and other noises. I am Dan, and this is the Gameolio podcast number 40. Yep, gamers talking games, as we do every fortnight on Sunday, typically. And then it goes out to you, it depends. Lately it's been going out on Friday, but it just depends because the workload is quite high. So, yes, one day it'll be recorded on Sunday and then released on Sunday. So, but, yes, okay. Hey, Haven.
Hello.
You are here, man, for the 40th show.
Here.
Yeah, for number 40. 40.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it's been we're not quite there, but I'm guessing when we hit 50, we're gonna have some sort of reflective show. You know, like, remember the time you said this?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And you'll be really embarrassed about what you said, and likewise. So, that's something to look forward to.
That sounds good to me.
Maybe we can do a video podcast.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Video cast. I wonder if my internets will be able to handle it, or they'll just explode and give up. Which I imagine
they said that we should actually find a place that we can actually have a studio, and then we would just sit together on a couch and talk about.
Mate, how easy would that be? We could not only sit down together, we'd just be eating a pizza.
Yeah.
Just chatting about games, playing them live in front of folks.
Yeah.
Things like Super Mario Brothers 2. Whatever we have that's the latest game. I don't know. Something like that. But yes.
That sounds good.
So how's your week been, mate? Because it's been a bit of a change in Australian weather, and we should start out with Australian weather. It is quite important on this. If it's to our international guests, they might like to know what the weather's like in Australia. But it's been quite warm, quite hot. Yes. Encouraging activities like barbecues and beaching.
Yeah. Beaching is nice. That's what I did today too.
You've been beaching, you've been swimming around, catching a wave, thinking about that next big game that's coming out while you're hanging 10.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah. Lying on the beach, thinking about games, or sometimes you bring your portable with you to play on the beach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All good things. It does make it pretty difficult to see what you're doing when you're playing in sunlight.
Yeah, that's true.
The screens that don't come out as well. Maybe we should, bring a tent or something and just port the entire gaming, setup we have to a beach under a tent with a generator and just be there. Yeah.
So do you actually bring a tent to the beach when you take your son to the beach?
Me, no, but it's a bit of maybe a good idea because the sun is quite strong in Australia. A lot of sunburning going on, and I'm sure it happens all over the world, but probably more so than in Australia, I'd say. It's quite harsh. And yes, something like that. A little tent would be great. A bit of portable air conditioning, possibly, and a generator to run the Xbox 360 or PS3 or whatever is the portable console of choice.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So, yes. What have you been doing this week in terms of gaming?
Well, I started Dark Souls, and I tried a bit of a Batman Arkham City.
You did it!
Yeah,
and you've been playing on the PS3, whereas I've been playing on the Xbox 360.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. What's
Well, let's talk about Dark Souls first.
Yeah.
I was originally kind of hesitant buying Dark Souls because I said it's even harder than Demon Souls.
So what's the difficulty? Where is it? Like just the combat is ridiculously hard? Is it just a long game, or where's the difficulty line?
It's just lethal. All the enemies are lethal.
So you really got to be on the ball.
Random enemies are lethal.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to be
Yeah. So for example, you could enter an area if you're not careful enough, you get ambushed. That's basically a ticket to death.
Yep.
So you have to be very strategic and try to lure one or two enemies over, kill them, and then go for another one or two enemies, and then kill them.
Yep.
And if you have enemies, for example, throwing projectiles like arrows or bombs and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to find a way to take them out first, or maybe just not even go into that area.
Aha.
Because otherwise, while you're trying to, because I think arrows you can block them,
Yep.
but for example, fire bombs,
Yep.
there's no way you can actually avoid getting damage. So
Right.
if you're fighting an enemy while someone is actually throwing fire bombs at you, basically you can just reset your game.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
So I went through the first boss fight, and you can actually start as any class you want. So I think there are around 10 classes.
Okay. Yep.
So from like their standard warrior to mages and stuff. You have so they have also like pyromancer, which is a form of mage, basically specialized in fire magic.
Yep.
And you have wanderer, hunters, thieves, and all those stuff. So I started as a cleric.
Yep.
Because I think this time they don't have Temple Knight. Because last in Demon Souls I started Temple Knight, so
Right.
you can actually can be a tank, but at the same time can heal.
Right. Okay.
So I started a cleric, and in the first boss fight, basically one hit, I took out like 3/4 of my life.
Oh dear.
So you have to be very strategic. I mean, it taught you what you can do or what you should do in terms of the boss.
Is this a grindy type of game where you've really got to build up all these levels and all your upgrades and all that sort of stuff? Or
basically what happened with this game is they don't have an actual money currency. So everything from leveling up to trading, you use souls.
Right.
Souls, you got them from your enemies. So if you defeat your enemies, you absorb their souls. And then you can actually use them as either currency for better items or use them for leveling up.
Right.
So when you level up, you level one aspect of your stats. So for example, the next level requires 800 souls. You got 800 and you want to level up. You can choose one of the many stats to level up.
Right.
So it's kind of not like standard JRPG that when you level up, all the stats go up, or even in, for example, Battle Gates or Champions of North, that you can actually choose several stats to level up, depend how you want to do it.
Yep.
So it's really decisions for what you want to do, because the stats actually affect what kind of weapons and what kind of things that you can learn, what kind of skills that you can learn.
Right.
So if you, for example, improve your strength, your attack increase, and you can hold stronger or bigger kind of weapon more swiftly.
Yep.
If you increase your dexterity, you can use more advanced mechanical kind of weapons like bows and shotguns and stuff.
Okay.
So that really depends on how you want to develop your characters, which is good. The good thing is, whatever statistics you increase, your defense go up.
Right.
So the most important part is your defense goes up. But then, because how each stat actually affect what you can do in the game, you really have to think about. You cannot just randomly say, "I will just go up with stats and stuff." For example, we just go up with strengths and nothing else.
Yeah.
Because then, come to a point that you need, for example, projectile, and your character cannot yield projectile weapon.
Right.
You'll be in kind of big trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay. So I see where you're coming from now. So is it one that you want to keep going and finish and actually get through it all, like really quick, or is it one that you want to fill out and do everything that you can in this game?
Well, I think I will try to finish it in a way because of that. It becomes, I think that's what attracts a lot of people going back to that game, is that because that makes it very challenging in a way that every decision in the game actually matters. Right,
yeah.
And then you want to see how the effects play out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And you have to be super, observant about the environment.
Yeah.
So, it seems similar to the Demon Souls. You can leave messages for other people.
Yep.
And that's good. And if you actually come across a really good message, then actually can help you out.
Yep.
For example, I came across, there was into an area when I went down the stairs, there's a message on the staircase saying that beware of the right. And then when I look upon to the right, suddenly and then he bursts out behind some crates and to attack me.
So was that more of a hindrance then? Because like, look to the right. Oh, what's something's on my face. Is that type of scenario, or did you have enough time to counter to prepare
for time to react?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be, if you don't know, you just walk into it. Then because I think there was an axe wielding one, so it could take out at least half of your HP. If you get knocked down, basically you're done.
You're done. Yeah, you're gone. They're gonna stomp you. It's it's kind of funny because if there's a message that says look to the right, be wary of the right. Well, then I'm looking to the right, not knowing that down the corridor at about halfway, something's going to jump out of me from the top, So, yes.
And it's one of the few games that I keep my shield up all the time.
So it's like a nice slow crawl to the end of the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well defended. Yes. You're like a moving tank. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Look, have you been playing anything else new or? It's been pretty much.
In response to Dark Souls, I told you I went back to Demon Souls.
Yeah.
So, but probably at the moment I would just focus on Dark Souls and to see how it goes, because the story seems to be really interesting.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So the story is about. Well, that's one of the questions I have was the story is about you're an undead, or what they call hollow.
Yep.
Which was kept in an asylum, but according to legend, one hollow from the asylum will be rescued and put into the living world to heal the world of undead.
Right.
So the rate of the undead and all those kind of stuff.
Yep.
So you, of course, naturally, you are the chosen hollow, because there are other hollows chosen before you. They failed the mission.
Okay.
So you went into the world trying to save the world, and that's what's happening. So, but then along the way, they have a lot of interesting characters. So you meet characters that actually, some of the non-playable characters you can actually kill them. For example, you can kill the merchant if you want to.
Well, that just means there's one less person to sell to, right? And
but then you get really good items. So it's also basically is a trade-off of, do you want to actually have a continuous stream of or items that can actually keep you through the game, or you want one specific really good item?
Yeah.
And forfeit all the future items that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's like in Fallout 3, I had gone right through that game without, leaning to the dark side, to the evil side, to the bad side not even once. And I was always thinking, there's that opportunity. I can kill the NPC in front of me, and he does sell fairly decent stuff. But what does he drop? Does he drop what he's holding, or does he drop nothing, or does he actually drop really good items? And that's the question. And it's like, on my second playthrough, I'm absolutely going to wipe out everybody. So watch out, Fallout 3 people.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can't just try to see what item you got in reset, because it's auto save.
That's it. And
so your action will be saved, and then you won't be actually be able to go back.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, it puts you on the spot, and it's like, do I really want to do this? Well, I might do it on a second playthrough, so I'll do that in Mass Effect as well. I'll do the same thing. I'll play good through the first time, and then the second time I'm just badass and, throwing things at people's faces and throwing them off ledges that were just normal folks, and just absolute badass. And, yes, it's a fun way to play. I like that a lot of games are giving us the opportunity to do both, So, and Fallout 3 actually goes one further. I think you can be neutral the whole way through. So you can do a bit of both. You can lean to the dark side, as it were, or the light side. Still go down that narrow path, straight down the middle. But yeah, so okay. Lots of souls of the dark kind and demon kind. But worth playing? Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's stressful, but at the same time, it's
challenging.
It's something that you want to keep on going.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I noticed that there is a second boss coming up. So I'm just trying to do a bit of leveling up upgrading the gears.
Yep.
Which most of the time you know that probably you won't be able to go through the boss in the first fight because you have to actually find out how it works. But then you know that it is coming. That is the kind of stress that you have.
Yep. I know that stress. It's the one where you start tearing your hair out, pounding the ground next to you in rage, and going to get drowning several beers in frustration. And I don't do that, but I've heard that people may do that. But there's other ways you can vent your anger. But, mate, some of these games, I'll tell you what. Right. Okay, well, let's move along. And I'll just quickly say that I have been playing Gears of War 3.
Oh, how is it?
So, well, I finished the game. I've sort of just rolled through it really quick. And it was good. It was, everything I thought it would be. It was just going to be the next part. Whether it was better than the first or the second one, I really don't remember. It is that type of game where you finish it and it's like, okay, that was done, and that felt enjoyable. It was a good experience, and, one day I would like to go back to it again. And I probably will be doing it soon with co-op. But it was a fun game, and it was just, more Gears pretty much. So, third-person shooter, cover system, shooting things, moving on, more set pieces, moving on, something big explodes, a big enemy pops out, that type of thing. It's fairly formulaic in the Gears of War way, and it worked. It worked well. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking about it a bit more when I play co-op a bit more. But yeah, it's fun. I think anybody that, I really... It's probably not worth saying, but anybody who enjoyed the first and second one would probably have got the third one. If you have forgotten about it, well, guess what? Gears of War 3 is out, so go get it. But yeah, fun times.
So does it complete the story? It
does. It does to a point. There's already been rumors that there's a fourth one on the way, or there will be a fourth one. So perhaps it's going to be a Halo 4 type of scenario where, Master Chief is flown off to somewhere different and maybe facing a different enemy, but it's still Halo, and it's probably somehow related to the Halo rings, and I'm sure the same thing will happen in Gears of War if it does go to the fourth one, which it looks like it may, whereby, Locust and all that sort of stuff is done, but, there'll be something somehow relating it all, and the Gears will have to face a new enemy, but somewhere down the path there's going to be Locust. But I'm looking forward to it. I say don't do it on the Xbox 360. We've had our 3 on the Xbox 360. Save it for the next one, the 720. I saw something on IGN recently talking about the rumors that it may be out in 2013, I think it was. So, look, that's I like that. That sounds good. Give us another year of Xboxing, and But the other game I've been playing is From Dust.
Oh, I heard about that game. How is it going?
Well, it's very difficult. I was actually going to sit down and review the game, but I found that I just couldn't. Like, the words of lemmings just kept popping up in my brain, and then just desolate, and it's... I don't know. It's a strange one. It's like Lemmings, but in a 3D environment, and you're a god type character. You're a serpent, and you got to place. You direct the little tribal folk where to go on this plane, and obviously there's elements like water and all sorts of little obstacles to get past. So you got to move your guys to a totem, and there may be an ability they discover which helps them deal with a problem in that area. But essentially, you want to get them from point A to point C or D, which is like an exit to get to the next level, and progress. And for the most part, it's quite fun, I'd say. I think that you may have a bit more, you may enjoy it a little bit more on a PC, because moving the little snaky guy around and trying to get him exactly where you want him can be a bit frustrating with the controller. There's been a couple of times where it's just like I've been trying to position my guy And it needs to, because the whole thing with this game is the manipulation of the actual land. So you can grab you can grab dust and sand and transport it to another area, thereby leaving a big crater in that area there, and allowing for maybe water to seep in there. And in that regard, it's quite interesting, especially at the start when you're moving you're almost moving mountains of dust and sand and saying, okay, now we'll place that in the water and make a bridge of sand so they can cross, and that's quite unique. I haven't seen that in a game so far. I haven't played Black and White, so I'm not sure if that may be in that, but I heard that there's a link. I think it may be similar, the same creator or something like that behind it, so which is probably a cross against my name. I've never played Black and White, but it's it's quite fun. I think it was in the second or third level. There's a part where you need to discover the totem to what is it? Basically, you are preventing a huge tsunami from wiping out your village. And when it happens, like, you hear this, the horns go off, and you see this massive wave of water coming towards your village, and it's like, come on, quick, get back to the village and learn how to do this. And like, you get there just in time, and he starts, like, doing this ability, and the tsunami sort of parts just where it's going to, totally destroy your village, and it just seeps to the side. And that was really impressive. I totally, like, dug that about the game. And following levels like dealing with lava and volcanic activity, fire trees and things like that. It's fun. I like, it's fun. I think you need to be, I think by the first or second level, you pretty much got a good idea whether you want to play this or not. So I would recommend you jump and grab a trial or demo, simply to try it. I think it'd be great to try. You'll find out fairly quick whether you like this game. Interesting on the Xbox 360, I'm not sure if it's the same on PS3, but on 360, it took such a long time to load. And like, this is a game that's on my hard disk and everything. So it's like, I would start it up, walk off, make coffee, eat, have something to eat, come back, and quite often find the little loading circle thing still going. And it seems like, I mean, I think maybe, I don't know if it's shifting it all in memory or what it's doing, because when you're actually in the game, I don't think there's much loading going on. It's fairly instant. But yeah, there's a lot of loading going on at the start, which is different to that I've found on a downloadable game. So maybe it's just Xbox. I don't know. But there is a lot of loading. But I'd suggest, if you're interested in this, at least in seeing that you can manipulate the land and see how that actually works out for you, I would give that a go. Yes.
The graphics is pretty impressive, isn't it?
On 360, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's like I think it's more the idea and the physics, which I like. When you see lava slowly coming down a mountainside and then hitting the water, or like I said before, a tsunami sort of coming at you, and the water effects look really cool. I don't know if I'd say it's brilliant graphics, but certainly it's got its own artistic style going on, and plays to that strength, which is good. I think a lot of games could. Take note of that type of style, whereby you may not have the resources to pop out brilliant graphics and Crisis on PC type of graphics, but you can play to your limitations and work your art style around that. And games like World of Warcraft and so on do that quite well. Speaking of World of Warcraft, I'll just BlizzCon has been happening this weekend, which is the annual event for Blizzard, and they talk about all games Blizzard. And BlizzCon, at the BlizzCon, Blizzard, Diablo. So the big one coming out of this for me is, of course, World of Warcraft being an active player at the moment. Now, there has been the rumor that we may go to Panda World for the next expansion, and a lot of people just treat it as a joke. It did pop up on MMOchampion.com, and you know what? They've never been wrong about anything. They did sort of pop it up with a bit of a disclaimer, like, "Oh, this is just something we found," but they pretty much hit it on their head. They found Blizzard had registered something. Blizzard registered the name. And of course, people went and said, "What's this Miss of Pandaria? What's this? We don't want to play as Pandas." And they're like, "Oh, it could be anything. It could be like a book or something, or some toys or cards." Or no, it wasn't. It was a bloody expansion, and it is going to be the next expansion. So, Pandas. Yeah. Look, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, seeing as we've had cows in the game for quite a while, since the start. But I don't know. I've been looking for an excuse to sort of bow out of World of Warcraft, and this may be it. I may drop it for this, but no. Having said all that, it looks quite, it's got the Asian type of theme, obviously being pandas and all that. So it reminds me of I've played Guild Wars for quite a bit of time before World of Warcraft, and there was an expansion that popped out, the first expansion called Factions, and that took place in a place called Kantha, and was very Asian themed and was quite well done overall. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Kantha, I've already done it," But it is in World of Warcraft, and there are a couple of new things coming out. Obviously, it's going to raise the level cap. We were on 85 for Cataclysm, so we get another 5 levels, bringing us up to 90, which makes me wonder if there's only going to be one more expansion or 2 more expansions. Are we going to go to 95 then 100, or the next one's just going to be a huge one and take us straight to 100? I'm about ready for World of Warcraft to end, it's getting tiring at the moment, and I would like to see an end in the, at least of this chapter of World of Warcraft, and then take us 100 years in the future or something like that. Anyway,
sometimes I do wonder whether they actually have continuously got new players entering World of Warcraft.
Well, by all accounts, yes. I mean, there's always new people. There's people unsubscribing and leaving the game, but then the numbers don't fall that dramatic. I mean, look, World of Warcraft was, I think, 12 million or 11 million or something at one point, and they did report that they had lost subscribers, but that they lost it, but they may have gained it again, and for new players, it's hard to put myself in the mindset of a new player now. Being, I look at myself. I started World of Warcraft just before the first expansion, and I've played that thing since 2007. So 4 years, bit over 4 years, possibly. So, I don't know, like a new player coming into it would be like, well, I've got to get this expansion, and I've got to get this one and this one and this. So many expansions, and then I think that the whole glossing over the first and possibly the second, and I guess maybe even the third expansion with this fourth one coming out, maybe quite daunting. Like, you brush through this content just to level up, to get to the later stuff, but then you'd be like, well, what happens in this one? Like, there's all these raids, and what was the storyline? Like, I'm going through the Burning Crusade. What happens in it? As far as I know, I go through 2 zones, and I'm ready to go to the next expansion. So I've never really liked that. And now with this amount of expansions, it's kind of like, ugh. Man, there's quite a bit of you're losing quite a bit of that content that they worked so hard on creating. Don't know if they're ever going to have a solution for that. But anyway, yes, I'll move on and talk about the Miss of Pandaria. So yes, level 90 cap is going to be moving on. There's a new continent, Pandaria, and the new zones within that continent.
Can you play as Panda, actually?
There's a new race, and the new race is called Pandaran. Yes, and it is a panda. Now, yes, if you were thinking Kung Fu Panda, yes, you're right. Kung Fu Panda, pretty much. The class that they are bringing into the game is known as the Monk. The Monk class, which will see you doing a bit of Kung Fu, I imagine, because the melee side would be, very friendly, hands-on, like punching and kicking and combinations and things like that. I think because you get pretty much every class has 3 trees that they can spec into, and I think the idea is to have one as a sort of melee DPS, a tanking class, and being a monk, I would imagine a healing class. So... yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't know if I would ever touch it. I might give it. I might give it a little go at the start just to see what it's like. But yeah. That's sort of what's come out of that was sort of day one information. I'm not sure what happened in day two, whether they went into more detail like they usually do on all these things. And the other thing was that we all get like little companion pets, little mini pets, which follow us and look cute
Like
and
a
do.
familiar or what?
Well, they're just little pets, like mini pets. They'll just follow you in game and do nothing really other than follow you. They may have like a little animation and that's about it, but they don't interact with your gaming world. Like they don't help you in any way really. But they're deciding to bring in little mini pet battles, which reminds me quickly of Pokemon and probably reminds everybody of Pokemon. So you're going to collect your little pets and then go off to, I don't know if there's going to be like an arena or something, but you're going to have some sort of battle. Perhaps it'll just be in the game world where you could just have duels with your little pets. Not really a seller for me, a selling point. I would much rather they'd said, oh, look, we're also going to redo the engine and nice upgrades, and then everything's going to look swish and swanky, and the character models are going to look all updated. Because what we've got at the moment is we've got old character models and then new character models that they've introduced from as we go through the expansions. And now with all these new characters walking around, it just looks ridiculous when you have old skinned orcs and new skinned orc. It just looks really ridiculous. And I don't know why it's such a big deal. I've seen it in other MMOs and it's been such a pain for them to do it. But you know what? Just do it. Just bloody, I don't know how much millions of dollars you guys get. Employ 3 people and say, you guys are responsible for changing all the skins. Here's the skins. Make the skins, and then they'll just put in some code that applies it to the relevant NPC. If they've got skin such and such, well, then they're going to get this new skin such and such. Bang, done, finished. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not. I have no idea what's involved in the game making process. So I could have just made people angry then. All right. Anyway, that's the expansion. So yes, World of Warcraft will be having a new expansion. I guess it'll come out sometime next year, possibly at the March, April, maybe June. I don't know if they're going to, because we've got the Dragon Soul raid coming out for the current expansion, and I don't know how long they intend us to play this piece of content. So they have been always saying they want to get content out quicker. So whether this means it's going to be coming out earlier in the year or mid-year, I'd say that'd have to be mid-year at the latest. So, and especially with the Old Republic coming out,
yeah.
Old Republic, I am kind of set to clash with lightsabers myself, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Diablo 3 was the other big. I don't know if there was really that much new. I mean, there may have well been. I pretty much focused on Miss Pandaria, but I did notice that 2 big things are going to be in with this thing. First of all, if you subscribe to World of Warcraft for 12 months. 12 months, then you get Diablo 3 absolutely free.
Oh, wow.
So the subscription is what, $12.99 or something if you go with 6 months, or $77 or something like that. So double that for the 6 month, and then so you'd have to subscribe twice, I imagine. Unless they're going to make, which would be kind of cool if they did have a 1-year subscription fee and it was slightly more reduced. I might even think about taking it up. But yeah, Diablo 3, I'm sure that'll just, be fantastic for folks that are already playing World of Warcraft and are not ready to leave anytime soon. So it's just a bonus for them for playing, which is good, I guess. Diablo 3 would be set you back a good, what, in Australia, $80 to $100, depending on where you get it from. So, yeah, good value there. And the collector's edition information was released recently, and that is, I'll just read you out what's in here because it's actually some cool stuff. I think Richie, if he was on, he would get excited. He'd be like, yeah, man, I'm totally going to do something to my PC to, yeah, probably not. But anyway, I like to think he would. So in the collector's edition, it's a big box. It looks like quite a big box. I imagine it'll be quite nice when you open that thing up. So you get the full version of the game, obviously. I mean, come on, what? They're going to give you a demo? Jeez. You also get a Diablo skull,
Oh, wow.
So big model skull. Maybe you can use it as a doorstop. That might work, or a bookend.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, bookend there. You're going to get a shard. It looks like a soul stone. 4 gigabyte USB soul stone. 4 gigabyte. Well,
Wow.
I guess 4 gigs is okay. It's okay. But yeah, it looks like a little. And I think what they are saying, it has Diablo 2 on it, and the expansion Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. So you get a free game. Well, you get added game stuff there. I think they did the same thing with StarCraft 2. They popped StarCraft 1 and its expansion on the USB drive, which was great. Now, you also get exclusive in-game content. This includes Diablo 3 aesthetic artifacts. So you can call forth glowing angel wings, unfurl? How do you unfurl? Oh, unfurl an exclusive banner. I see.
Oh.
And diorama sets with bottled cloud or bottled smoke items. So that could be cool. I think the wings looks kind of funky. I wish I could have that in World of Warcraft. That'd be nice. You do get exclusive content also in those games. You get in World of Warcraft, you get to journey throughout the World of Warcraft with the fetish shaman at your side, which is a mini pet, I imagine. I wonder what he'll do. He looks quite funky and fierce with that mask of his. You will also get portraits in StarCraft 2. And they'll be Diablo themed. 3 of those. So, I don't know if that's such a big thing. They look interesting. But I think the big ones for me would be the behind the scenes Blu-ray DVD set. Blu-ray and DVD set. I always like behind the scenes stuff. So I think that would be great for any true fan or somebody who wants to see everything. And you also get the art of Diablo 3, which is a 208-page book. 208.
That is a pretty thick book.
That's a lot of art. And if you like your Diablo, get that one. There you go. Lots of art there. Diablo 3 soundtrack. And I thought, that's kind of standard. But Diablo 1 and 2 had a fantastic soundtrack. Any fan will probably agree that the sound itself, the music itself is like, at least... It'd have to be at least 1/3 of the game, in making up the atmosphere. Now, there's a new... the guy who did the music on the first two, I believe, is not doing it in the third one, which is a bit of a bummer. But the person who is doing the music for the third one, I believe, is involved with World of Warcraft quite a bit. I think he does all the music for World of Warcraft, in fact, but supervises and makes and runs that whole department. So that could be good. That should be good. I mean, World of Warcraft music is quite good itself. So so we'll see how that turns out. But quite a decent package for the fans, going for the collector's edition, and also a little note on Diablo: there is the official sweepstakes to get into the beta, which is going on at the moment right now. So if you haven't done that, you can. I think you just got to go to Diablo on the Facebook, look up Diablo, and there should be something sort of smack bang saying, would you like to join the sweepstakes? And you just click on that and proceed, and you may be in the running to win one of 2,000 beta keys, I think it is. So, or you can also go to the official webpage. If you go to battle.net/D3 or just battle.net and click on D3, Diablo 3, you should be able to get there too. So, that's quite a bit. And I'm sure there's more coming out of BlizzCon, but that's the stuff which I was kind of interested. Yeah, I don't know if there's much about StarCraft 2, but, just bring it. I'm happy to play anything StarCraft 2, but with the amount of games coming out there now, I'm just so swamped. But anyway, enough of that. Haven.
Yeah.
You and I, and I, Phuong, we all went to see Battlefield 3 again in Sydney.
Did.
Yeah, we were invited again by EA, which was really nice of them, and we got into an event over in Sydney City. And when we got there, man, it was quite loud.
It was
very loud. There's loud music going on, and there was free beer and booze and pizzas, and
love that.
People just enjoying the Battlefield 3 experience and everything, and the new gameplay. I believe was new code there for us to play, and I didn't get a chance to play, but I was quite happy just sitting back and watching everyone have a bit of fun. So we did get a chance to play Diablo 3. There's so many threes coming out. We did get a chance to play Battlefield 3. literally a month or so, a couple of weeks before that. Yeah, so that was so it was good. Just watching all the community and so on play this game. It was great to it was very quick. We actually missed out on the media session just due to work and so on. So we didn't get a chance to meet up with the two guys that were from Battlefield 3 and DICE, which is Lars Gustafsson, who's the DICE creative director, and Daniel Matros, which is the DICE global Battlefield community manager. We got to meet them very briefly. It was very quick. My problem was, I wasn't really sure what I would say to these guys, because I haven't really played Battlefield as a series. I've played bits and pieces, but it's always sort of come in at a time where everyone said, wow, Battlefield's really awesome, you got to try it out. And I tried it out, I'd have a go, but I was never really into the big multiplayer at the time. I was always single player. I was more interested. So it didn't really have anything for me. But having said that, seeing all the Battlefield 3 stuff recently, I am really excited about getting into this. Not only for the multiplayer, but more for, the single player experience, because it looks like they've really put some time into this, and it's going to be something special. Whether it's just like a huge tutorial for how to play to be a good multiplayer, or is as extensive as like Halo Reach, and it's as a multiplayer. Like they're two parts, and it's both really good and fun to play and take part in. So hopefully that's the case. But anyway, so we only got a really brief moment to talk to these guys, and I think Phuong did most of the talking. Did you get to ask? I think because I was about to ask something right then, but then EA said, "Oh, we're actually just about to start the whole intro," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, no worries." So,
well, I did ask him about the beta. How was the feedback from that? And they said that they have really good feedback, and the feedback was overwhelmingly good, and they kind of adjust certain things because of the feedback, but basically everyone was very hyped up and very positive about the game, which I think is kind of what I saw, because when it went to the earlier one a few weeks back. What I saw you and Richie when I saw you guys play, I think the gameplay was kind of fluid to me. It's kind of pretty flow very smoothly, and from what we saw on that day on that specific event, when we saw screens and screens of people playing the game, it seems to be quite seamless and doesn't really see a lot of frame rate issues that you thought would have with that kind of huge scale. Yeah, but they've built a specific engine or upgraded the Frostbite engine for that. So probably that's kind of helped them in a way, that because they're not using any ready to make kind of products engine for the game. So, yeah, but I'm quite impressed when they actually show how they do all those rendering and stuff, and actually how you see them showing up in the trailer. That I thought is pretty cool.
It was not the actual event and so on was quite good as well. I mean, the community, they were really pumped up for it. I mean, they were yelling out, they were clapping at every trailer, and anytime DICE was mentioned, yay, and all that. And it's quite interesting being in that environment. I mean, obviously the fans of the game, and it's going to be very difficult to have people there that are going to go, boo, the Battlefield 3, oh, go back to Battlefield 2, I want more expansions. You're not going to get that. But it was fun. It was fun to be in that environment. And look, the game does look good. It does look quite... I was wondering what that was showing the footage on. I guess it was PC. It looked bloody awesome, especially the flying part. So,
that's spectacular.
And I guess the sound was really pumped up too. So you felt like you were in that cockpit. And it was good, Lars giving the introduction to it and then closing up on it, and it was almost like he was going to shed a tear towards the end. He was a bit choked up.
He was. I think he was kind of emotional when
and I was thinking that's a bit funny, but at the back of my mind, I was you know what? How many years have gone into this, planning and every single part of the game, and how this scenario is going to go, and what you're going to do in this point, and just thinking, to details like, should we put a tree here or put a tree there, and just the amount of work that goes in. I can see that as being being quite a thing. So, yeah, look, all the best to these guys, and I hope that it does as well as it looks like it's going to do. I think we all get Battlefield 3, next week? I think it's next week, 27th.
So are you going to get it?
I am going to get it. I'm gonna bloody well play it. I'm gonna play the crap out of it. I'm gonna do a lot of multiplayer, and that's for sure. And
You pre-order it?
yeah, well, I want to.
This has got some more stuff for you. If
That's
you
right. Yeah, if you pre-order, you get all that extra stuff. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm really looking for? I'm really looking forward to flying a plane.
Yeah.
I just want to fly a plane.
That part, yeah.
And I hope that I don't get in that plane and it just goes nosedive straight into the ground. Because you suddenly got to, hey, what? You don't know how to fly a plane? Well, you better learn, buddy, because this is the real deal. But, yeah.
I'm never good in flying simulations.
Yeah, it was, up goes up, right? Oh, wow, I'm into a mountain. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yes, yep. All right, so that's Battlefield 3. Now, on IGN, I also saw just recently that Mass Effect 3 demo is coming soon. January, I believe. I think it's early access for people who have Battlefield 3. You'll be able to play Mass Effect 3. So, yeah, that's people who have Battlefield 3. But I'm sure that they will release it for everyone else, a week or 2 weeks, something like that later on.
I should sign up on PlayStation Plus to see whether actually they would get the demo for free.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because PlayStation Plus seems to have all the demo games now.
Okay, right. Well, that'd be a good sort of incentive.
That's
to
true.
keep that subscription going. Yeah. The demo itself, I wonder if it'll just be sort of what we played, like the E3
level.
Yeah, maybe the E3 demo. It could be something new. That close to the game coming out. They'll have time to take another level, refine a little bit, and pop it out for a demo, I'm sure. So, yes. Looking forward to that.
Good.
Have you got through Mass Effect 2?
Nah. It's still sitting on the shelf.
That's the one. That's the one that you got to come back to when.
So probably because I got 2 weeks off during Christmas, so probably that is one of the projects I have to finish.
Yep.
I
Yes.
have to finish that one. Yeah.
Because
I need to get myself ready for Mass Effect 3. Yeah, because I don't want to get into a situation like Assassin's Creed that I didn't finish the second one, and then when the third one came, I said, we'll hold off until I finish the second one, but then now the fourth one is coming out.
Yep.
It's just too many games to play in too little time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, we didn't talk about Batman, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to get onto that. Like, I thought we talked about it right at the start. I think we briefly mentioned it, yes, and we're going to get back to it. Yes, Batman Arkham City. Hell yeah!
That was good,
mate. I have been I've been excited for Batman for the first time since it was even announced that there was going to be a second part. I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get myself back. Arkham Zone, hit some, and I've been watched trailers on, but I haven't been as excited until that last launch trailer popped out, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this today. And I did. I went and got it. It was quite cheap, $68 or something at Big W over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so I went...
doing a promotion at that time, yeah.
That's right. So I went over there, I picked that up, and it was funny. As I was buying the game, I was asking the guy, is this thing sealed and everything? And he goes, yeah. And there was a dude right behind me holding another, like the PS3 box or something. And he's like, oh, you're after a Batman too? And he's like, and we sort of smiled at each other, like, we're going to play Batman, we go home, yeah. And so it was a good moment shared between us, and we knew we were going to kick some ass. And we have been. I don't know about him, but I have. I've been kicking a lot of butt. And you know what? The funny thing about Arkham City is, I remember playing Arkham Asylum. It doesn't feel like that long ago. And I had all the controls and everything down pat. Like I knew what everything did. But coming into Arkham City, you have everything pretty much that you had from the first game right from the get-go. And because of that, and because when I opened the box up and there was no physical, thick manual, there's no manual detailing, like usually you get, I don't know what it is with games lately. They've decided to go all environmentally friendly and just give you like a slip. A piece of paper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, where's my funky manual? I do enjoy reading the manual while, doing stuff on the train or doing things in the toilet, whatever. But passing the time, I do like to read the manuals, and it would have been handy to have that just to refresh myself on all the movements and sets and so on. I didn't even look at the slip. It may even be in the slip. Is it? I didn't, because I saw the slip paper and just went, oh, okay, code, all right, cool. I'm not sure if it actually has all the movements in there because there's quite a few.
I think nowadays a lot of things are actually they do it online, because I was even for Dark Souls. If you want a strategy guide, because in Demon Souls they provide the strategy guides if you buy the limited edition. So for Dark Souls, they said they provided kind of, in a way that you have to put the code onto the online website to actually get the strategy guide online.
Right.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah.
But back to Batman.
Yes, Batman. So coming into Arkham City, it has been quite daunting almost, like it's like oh my god, how does that movement work, and what was that takedown, and all the movement sets and all the different things. There's so much stuff you can do, and sure, you can break it down to being quite basic and just hitting X, and moving from left to right and hitting all you guys, but there's so much more you could do, So with the batarangs and all your gadgets, and then going up to the advantage point, glide kicks, glide tackles, glide. You got shockwave going on. There's all sorts of things going on. So, yeah, and coming to the realization that you're not just in that little asylum anymore. It's like quite an expansive city area that you've got to fly and glide around to get from place to place. Sure, there was a bit of that in Asylum, but not so much as City. And by the sound...
freedom that it offers.
Yeah, well, that's it. And you can do so much. Like, you just fly around and it's like, oh, there's somebody in trouble down there. Go help them. And there's that phone's ringing over there. And there's something about a side quest over here. And, there's quite... You can really go any direction, I feel. I'm only 9% into it, so it could be early days still. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you? Yeah. How are you feeling?
I was very impressed. I mean, I like the first game, but I think the first game is kind of like restricted you inside the asylum. So, but then when they said it's going to be the whole city, I was thinking, how would it work? So, the story explained how it works, but it's just, I think, the kind of freedom you immediately open yourself to.
Yeah, it's
just huge. I mean, there was a point that when I grabbed hooked to one of the gargoyles on the big building, and then I just let Batman sit there or stand there just to look around and say, "Oh, that is so impressive! It's so cool."
And there really is so much to look at. Like even just like signs and any alley you go down, I start sort of looking on the ground because in Asylum, it was always a thing where you sort of walk down a path which you really wouldn't have to, and suddenly you find all this cool stuff about villain X. Like there was just about any villain you can think of. There was something there with a nod to that person, and it was, I like that a lot. And so now I'm sort of doing it in this as well, but it's quite hard because it's such a huge city. So yeah. Hello, Rich.
Yeah, hi.
How's it going, buddy? And Rich is here too, guys. So hey,
I've actually been here the whole time. I was just being really silent because I haven't played any Batman.
You are a quiet man. Yes.
I never really finished Arkham.
You were meditating in spirits of the Mists of Pandaria being announced as the World of Warcraft expansion. So you thought you'd just get all monk-like and just meditate for the whole hour.
You don't know how bizarre that kind of stuff sounds like to a non-World of Warcraft player. Like sitting on the sidelines as I do and hearing how big World of Warcraft is, and then jumping on Twitter and seeing all the gaming people I follow just going ballistic, but the words they're typing don't make any sense to you, in or out of combination.
Well, Rich, I'll tell you what, mate.
Everyone's angry about pandas or something now.
It's been announced. They've been talking it for quite a while, and I tell you what, I don't know what the hell's going on. I've been playing this game for ages, and it's just like, whoa,
apparently everyone thinks it's a Nintendo game now or something. I don't know what's going on.
It's going to be like bouncing. What was that Bouncing Bears cartoon that used to be on Gummy Bears or something like that? It's going to be like that, where you're just bouncing around and you just squash folks. And yeah, Kung Fu Panda has come to WoW. So, fun times. And we've run out of time because I've got to go. But we will talk more Batman Arkham City next time because it is quite damn awesome. And I'm enjoying it.
Arkham City, Arkham Asylum again, maybe.
Yeah, you should actually. Arkham Asylum.
This is the big game killer for me. I got to a point where I was loving it, but I couldn't figure out where to go next.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Like, I don't want to just wander around for hours and hours. But I'm really liking this and then something else came along. And
yes, but I think in this game they actually improved that because actually you can actually find, they will kind of tell you suddenly where you should be going.
Yeah.
So I think they actually improved that upon Arkham Asylum.
You know, I thought Batman had a lot of gadgets in the first game, but in this one, he seems to have everything covered, everything sorted.
Does he have the bat shark repellent?
Not yet, but I'm sure that's coming. I did see I'm pretty sure I saw a shark or something on the side of a building somewhere, so there may be an opportunity to do that.
That'd be rad.
If not, please patch it in. But yes, you can tell when just temperatures. Yeah, you want to find the ice sky.
And I like the detective mode that when you actually use science to explain what the projection of the enemies, weapons, and stuff like that.
We could all use a detective mode. I tell you what, it would just make life a lot easier.
Yeah.
And Loner Game is in the chat channel. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining us there in the chat channel and saying hola. Cool. All right, guys, I got to go. Got to roll. But Rich Haven, thanks for being here.
It's absolutely my pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so that's episode 40. We will have 41, and I am going to talk about back of boxes next time.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm actually going to read some too, and I'm going to hope that you guys can guess what the game is.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. The next one will be ninja oriented.
As they all should be.
They should all be that way. That's right. All right, guys, we've got to go. Thanks again, and thank you to everybody who's listening to this podcast and stuff. Yes. All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Man, I'm pooped.